Okay, I want people to build a base first. And what I mean by base is the first three paradigms that I talk about in the book is connection with the earth, body, and food. Okay. And when you take accumulation of all those three paradigms, okay, why would that be important to somebody, in the field right now who's active and talk to, concerned about performance? Okay. One, we know that when you start connecting with the earth in terms of grounding and aligning with the circadian rhythms, okay, that's what I mean by connecting with the earth is aligning with the circadian rhythm. Your hormone profile naturally improves. That means for males particularly, right? Nowadays everybody's after high T and like maximizing their testosterone, maximizing their growth hormone. All these parameters start improving right away because now you're in sync with your normal hormone cycle. You're allowing enough of when you're in sync with the circadian rhythm, you have proper release of growth hormone at night and proper release of testosterone during the day. Both of these, one for performance, because that's kind of like that alpha particle, right? Like when you walk in, it's like the testosterone not only gives you the health, but it also gives you that alpha element, right? Of being the alpha in the room, right? And you talk about, it just that's how primitive man was, right? Like the more dominant man had the higher testosterone and walking into the room. But if you were chasing the alpha, okay, in this case, right, then it's paramount that you have that health that is giving you that support of the growth hormone and the testosterone by aligning with the circadian rhythm. Okay. The second part is the way the connection with body. I tell people, and a lot of, I speak to adolescents and teens going through a lot of things, and I said that, then all these guys are looking to impress girls and everything like that, and and so but what I tell them, that when you walk into a room, okay, or you're doing a sales pitch or you're about to do a presentation, 95% of your communication is actually it's a nonverbal, right? It's I mean, as you probably know that, right? From the work you do, is that a lot of what you communicate is nonverbal, okay? What you say is such a small percentage, right? Um, and that nonverbal part is when we look at from a primitive aspect, we're our eyes are designed to see certain things in people. And if you look at that, what is something that tells us that this guy is like an alpha male walking in, right? Is that a lot of it has to do with their alignment and how they carry themselves. And what I've seen is nowadays, as people are using more technology, engaging with more technology, using their phone, your whole posture is going inward and down, right? So your head is down, your shoulders are caved in, right? That's an anti-alpha, okay? But because you're losing that primal uh, cue. When people see you, you're losing that cue that people start seeing you as weak just from your posture, right? And not as a kind of like a alpha male, okay, or having that power. And so what I tell people is that as soon as you start bringing your posture more to your primal posture, right? Which means a lot with aligning your spine and everything like that, automatically you will improve your image as you walk into a room. And so one of the aspects of my work is showing people how to align their posture before they walk in, particularly from a sales perspective, okay? And the last piece on this, building that base of that physical health, is really how we connect with food, okay? And putting aside the idea of longevity and all that, which is important, okay? But from a performance point of view, what you eat impacts your energy level right away, okay? And I'm sure you've noticed that, Fong, right? Like certain meals you eat and you want to take a nap, right? And then certain meals you eat and you feel pretty energized, right?
How is success like a storybook?
So success, I would say it would be 7 chapters, and it would be the 7 levels we talked about. And really, because your goal is to to live each chapter in that storybook. And I think if we wrap up here, if people develop their physical health the way I told you, develop that emotional health, and develop their mental health and emotional health, but that last piece that I talked about of that legacy is what I call as existential health. If you can go through all 7 chapters of your life and complete them appropriately, it will be a well-lived life.
Well done. And that's how success is like a storybook. So thank you very